Okay, so I've got my eggs. There's 2 eggs in here that's boiled. I've got my chicken in this pan with just a little bit of this Kirkland brand olive oil. I've got my peas ready, my cream of chicken soup. My carrots are cut up in bite-sized pizzas, and I have my chicken broth, which I'm going to have to measure out a cup, which I have a measure right there. I've got my pan already sprayed and ready to go, and I got my Jiffy biscuit mix or my baking mix and my milk behind me, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. But right now, all I want to do is get this here chicken cooked through. And like I said, I just have a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to add some salt and pepper to this. And can't beat some good black pepper and some sea salt. And I like my black pepper from Kirkland's. I love it. Well, after I started using this, I didn't use any other pepper. And my sea salt. So just a little bit of salt to that. And that'll help it cook down. And I have a stick of butter back here on the back burner, and the heat from my oven, which my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. But I have a stick of butter in here, and if you'll put your bowl, and be very careful when you pick this back up because it'll be hot, but you don't have to worry about microwaving your butter. It will automatically, melt because of the heat of the stove. So you just let that melt while your chicken's cooking. Okay, so I got my chicken here. It looks like it's going pretty good. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of minced onion. This minced onion comes from Aldi's. Anyways, it's their brand of seasonings. I love their minced onion. I'm going to go ahead, since I am using fresh raw carrots, I'm going to go ahead and add my carrots to this. You want to add the same amount of carrots as you are going to add peas. So this is I believe it's 16 ounces, or maybe I'm wrong. 16 ounces, 2 cups of peas, so about 2 cups of carrots. So I'm just going to stir these carrots in, and I'm going to cover this pan, and I'm going to let this cook. And like I said, you can buy already pre-cooked chicken, you can use rotisserie chicken, and I will put the entire recipe in the description box down below so you all can know exactly how much I used of everything. But basically, I'm just going to put the lid on this. I'm going to turn my timer on for about 15, maybe 20 minutes, because I want this chicken to be completely cooked. I don't want any raw chicken going in my chicken pot pie. So I'm going to let this cook. I'm going to let these carrots get tender and steam in here with this chicken, and I will be back to show you how I put this all together. Okay, so while my chicken is cooking in the pan over here, which I forgot to set my timer, so we're going to set it for about 15 minutes. I have a cup and a half of my baking mix in this mixing bowl, and I have 1 cup of milk. This is going to be our topping to our chicken pot pie, and it'll add a lot of flakiness and homemade goodness to this pie. So basically, I just want to stir this really good. And you want this to be thick. So if you feel like this is too runny, which I'm looking at mine right now thinking, it's a little too runny, you just simply add a little bit more of the baking mix, because I feel that every baking mix is completely different. So I'm going to add another ½ cup to this. You want this to be almost like a biscuit dough that you are going to spread all over the top of the pie. So you want this to be kind of thick, and that looks like that just about did it. So if you're using a Jiffy, I usually use Bisquick, but I used a cup of milk to 2 cups of Jiffy so far. So that looks pretty good. If you can see that, it's pretty thick. It's kind of like a biscuit, close to a biscuit dough. You want it pretty thick. So that looks pretty good there. I'm just going to let that sit, and I am going to wipe up my mess. And I'm going to let my chicken cook completely with my carrots, and then I will get back and I will show you the next step. So my chicken just got done. As you can see, it's steaming big time. My carrots are semi-tender. You can cook the carrot, you can use a canned carrot, but I like using fresh ingredients with some canned ingredients because I feel like that it makes it taste better. So I want to add a can of cream of chicken soup, if I can get it out. Let me get a spoon. All right. Get this cream of chicken soup out. You want to make sure you get it all in there. There we go. That looks good. And then you want to add 1 cup of chicken broth to this. And I just want to go ahead and make sure that I get all of this off my spoon. And I'll just use the big spoon. There we go. Alright, so we want to make sure this is all good and incorporated. And you want to get this smells really good. There's something about that sweet smell of carrots and chicken. I don't know what it is, but it smells really good. Okay, so we got the chicken here, and we got, there we go, it's all mixed in good. Now we want to add the can of sweet peas. And I love sweet peas. My kids aren't a fan. They'll eat it this way, but like just to have sweet peas on the side, they're not a fan of, but they will eat it. But to me, oh my goodness, I just love peas. I don't know why, but I just love the way they taste. Okay, so you don't want to stir that too much because you don't want the peas to get mushy. And I went ahead and I cut up my 2 boiled eggs. So I got that in there. You just want to go ahead and make sure that's good and combined in there. It smells so good. And I'm hungry. I went to the track this morning and I did my 2 miles at the track, and I've been really, really good about what I eat today, and so I can have this for supper. Okay, so I got my pan here, and I want to make sure that you can see this on the video camera. Let me back a little bit. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add our chicken to our pan. You want to be careful because it's really hot at this point. And my pan is super, super heavy. There we go. Get all that goodness in there. And you just want to spread it around in your pan so it's nice and even. And I'm going to show you the next step. Whoops. Put that in the sink there. Okay, so I'm going to make sure my stove is off. Okay, so we got our Bisquick mix here. And what we want to do is we want to spoon this on the top of this chicken pot pie. So you're going to just simply spoon it all on the top. Oh my goodness, that looks good. That's going to make a nice topping on this. And I just try to make sure that I get it all out of here. It kind of is a sticky dough, so you know, you might want to get another spatula or whatever to get it all out. Use your fingers a bit, whatever it takes to get it all off the spoon. Come on. So, I want to make sure I get all of it out because this is what is going to make this like a authentic chicken pot pie. Now, I'm going to sound a bit like Paula Deen, but we can't forget the butter, people. We are going to put 1 stick of butter all over the top of this pie. There we go. We're going to put this in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. The top will get slightly brown. It'll be all cooked up. And I think that I'm going to actually set that on top of a cookie sheet in case it bubbles over. So I will show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, I just took the pot pie out of the oven and I have my plate here and it is very, very hot. And I've got some green beans on the stove if you see steam because I wanted to offset this a little bit with a little bit of green beans. So I'm going to show you guys what this looks like when you spoon it out. You have that crusty crust and you have the yumminess of the chicken. Yum. That looks really, really good. And then what I like to do is I just like to come in here and get these drippings. Just make sure that you get that because that is what is going to make this taste divine. Alright, so that is my chicken pot pie and I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm going to try to give you guys a close-up here of it. You can see it. It's very steamy, very hot right now, but that's what it looks like. Anyhow, I hope y'all enjoyed this Sunday Simple Supper, and I will be seeing you next Sunday, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.